Hello everyone. We're making this video to give you a short vision about the culture and leadership of some countries. When you are building an institution, you are growing something that will be beyond you. It will exist without you. It will grow beyond you. It will sustain itself beyond you. It's about creating a culture and a value that persists. According to Nandan Nilekani, ex-CEO of Infosys, a multinational company originated in India that operates in business consulting and information technology, culture is a powerful tool in strengthening a company position. For instance, culture reflects a company's identity and provides it with the competitive advantage that is defining precise value around which the company will operate in context of a well-coordinated organization. This simplifies decision-making that are oriented toward achieving predefined goals, creating alignment between agency and the performance of the company, and assigning a direction for a business. Before determining any link between culture and leadership, it's important to understand both concepts in order to determine in which ways they are converging and at which extent they meet. Culture is very difficult to be defined. For instance, culture is a broad notion that encompasses many aspects of society. It includes everything around us, from the smallest details to the most pronounced one. Then we have many confused the notion of leader with bosses and CEO. The question is, who is a leader? According to Michael McCoby, an American anthropologist, a leader is responsible for designing a quality strategy or vision, its implementation through organization, architecture, and system education. Involvement in motivating people and evaluating results in such a way that the organization can learn and improve.
There are some leadership styles that's used in the working environment. However, each country in this world has different leadership culture. For example, in Brazil, the business is hierarchical. People there prefer to have an authoritarian leader or manager. The leadership style is related with the Hofstede theory on power distance level, which in Brazil is medium to high. This power distance is characterized by the communication style. However, Brazilians also expect a paternalistic manager, because the subordinates are more likely to be more loyal and commit to the manager and the organization itself. There is a close supervision, and the manager will most likely to directing and controlling the employees. Managers in Brazil tend to keep the line between employee and boss lead, but still maintain the friendly atmosphere. Brazilian working culture also can be considered to be low satisfaction at work and low competition amongst people of the organization. Relationship with their family also seen as very important to the Brazilian. That's why it's common in Brazil to hire people from the same family to be their subordinates or partners, and they make sure that their working life won't interrupt their family time. Because Brazil scored high in collectivism, Brazilian managers tend to use a group approach to leadership. Brazil also has more flexible time, and punctuality is not seen as an important thing to them. It's normal in Brazil to be a few minutes late in a meeting, and sometimes it's even considered as a sin of disrespect if people arrive 15 minutes early in a meeting. Based on the Brazil leadership culture, the Brazil leadership style can be categorized as both authoritarian and paternalistic, because as we come on the explanation above, Brazil has a hierarchical business structure, and Brazilians expect to have an authoritarian leader that could give them clear instructions, without having them to question about it.
Business setup in Canada is egalitarian, and to ensure successful process, cultural management is important to remember to treat each other and every person with equal respect and difference. Intercultural adaptability relies on this understanding that in Canada there is a sense that all people in the organization have an important role to play and are valued for their input. Therefore, in this culture, managers won't lose any respect consulting other employees over decisions. Since Canada is a cultural mosaic where immigrants are encouraged to retain their ethnic heritage, the business behavior we observe may vary dependent upon the cultural heritage of the person involved, and intercultural adaptability is essential. Cultural communication will be more effective when working if you remember that the most productive managers in Canada recognize and value the specialized knowledge that employees at all levels bring. Employees expect to be consulted on decisions that affect them and the greater good of the organization. Successful intercultural management will remember that the role of the leader is to harness the talents of the group assembled and develop any resultant synergies. The leader will be referred to as the final authority in any decisions that are made, but they do not dominate the discussion or generation of ideas. Praise should be given to the entire group as well as to individuals. Canada's intercultural competence and readiness for change is high. Business in Canada have a high tolerance for risk and a ready acceptance for change. The underlying mindset is that change, while difficult, usually brings improvement, and that hard work and innovation will bring a better tomorrow. Risk takers who fail are not deprived of future opportunities, as failure is often perceived as a necessary step in the learning process. When discussing plan implementations, Canada managers will look for a proactive, success-oriented perspective with details about how to make the plan succeed. Without losing sight of the risk, managers are expected to stay focused on the opportunity and the positive vision. In general, information flows in all directions, and managers often seek the advice of others within the company who are technical experts. Managers often see themselves as facilitators whose job is to assist their subordinates in producing their best work. In Quebec, where it is more hierarchical, there is a greater respect for rank and authority and less discussion with employees prior to reaching a decision. However, in high technology companies or more entrepreneurial companies, Quebec management style is similar to the rest of Canada.
The culture of Japan has evolved greatly over the millennia, from the country's prehistoric time German period to its contemporary modern culture, which absorbed influences from Asia, Europe and North America. Strong Chinese influences are still evident in traditional Japanese culture, as China has historically been a regional powerhouse, which has resulted in Japan absorbing many elements from Chinese culture, first through Korea, then later through direct culture exchanges during China's Sui and Tang dynasties. At an intermediate score of 54, Japan is a borderline hierarchical society. Yes, Japanese are always conscious of their hierarchical position in any social setting and act accordingly. However, it is not hierarchical as much as the other Asian culture. Japan scores 46 of the individuality dimension. Certainly, Japanese society shows many of the characteristics of a collectivistic society, such as putting harmony of group above the expression of individual opinions, and people have a strong sense of shame for losing face. However, it is not collectivistic as much as her Asian neighbors. Japanese leaders, compared with the leaders of other societies, have less power of control because they are expected to have warm and good relationship with their followers, and followers are allowed to decide due to their own attitude and decisions, to an extent. Fidelity of the inferior to the superior in Japanese moral framework is a virtue. In return, the superior should allow inferior to express the fidelity, and it is expected that leader rely on his followers to remove his weak points. Leaders should try to decrease the rate of confliction, quarrels, oppositions, tensions, and anxieties among their followers. The highest efficiency of leaders is associated with his ability to understand the followers and to attract their attentions. Other major specifications of Japanese management system include teamwork, collective decision-making, job rotation, flexibility in work, long-term employment, mutual emotional relationship between employer and employee, system of promotion on the basics of superiority, group assessment and group bonus.
First, I will start by giving a detailed cultural analysis of Morocco using Hofstede's dimensions. Then, I will cover the theory of Moroccan business ethics by focusing on the major factors that have been proven to affect the decision-making process of Moroccan business leaders. According to the Hofstede model, Morocco is a hierarchical country with a total power distance score of 70. The hierarchical nature of leadership represents inherent inequalities in which individuals in power dominate the powerless. Morocco is collectivist civilization with a total score of 46. Moroccans are known to put family first and have proven to be rather considerate when it comes to needs of their society. In Morocco, loyalty is valued and is considered to be the basis on which trust is built between members of family, as well as friends and co-workers. Moroccans live in a masculine society. Sense of femininity managed to come to the surface with a score of 53. That being said, as a masculine society, Morocco is considered to heavily rely on competition and triumph. Morocco is very attached to customs and traditions, those ending with a very low total score of 14. This normative culture is very fond of change, as it has shown to be rather suspicious and therefore prefers to stick to its old age practices. In other words, every sphere of the Moroccan society is tied to the old age practices. Each and every aspect still holds the original Moroccan touch, with very little to no influence of external cultures. Then we have the theory of Moroccan business ethics. This theory basically revolves around the foundation Moroccan business leaders base their ethical decision-making process on. It's very important to understand the significance and value of honor and dignity in Morocco. This component is divided into three areas: business honor, religious honor, and family honor. That being said, in the Moroccan culture, family honor is considered to be the strongest and it's passed down from one generation to other. Business role models are also considered to be of great influence on the ethical business making of Moroccan business leaders. Hierarchy is never taken into consideration when it comes to role models, as business leaders confirm that the position ranged from normal employees to managers to founders or owners. The importance of community service within the company and how it affects the decision-making process of Moroccan business leaders has soon been concluded. Failing to support community service has a strong negative impact on the employee honor, which in return affects the decision-making process.
Finally, understanding the relationship between culture and leadership is very important in order to lead a business to success. Through our research, we have found various opinions on how leadership is related to culture. If some have considered culture as indirectly linked to leadership through performance, others see that leadership and culture are perfectly and directly correlated. It has appeared to us that the pillars of an organizational culture of an organization are inspired from the national culture from which the CEO is originated. Rather than saying that leadership is influenced by culture, we believe that culture and leadership influence one another. National culture does influence leadership by being behind the organizational culture of the company and by shaping one's leader's way of managing a company.